All right, let's just dive right into this explainer. We're skipping the usual preamble today because I want to drop you literally into the middle of a high-tension scenario. So imagine you're driving home, right? Flashing lights suddenly appear in your rearview mirror and you're pulled over by the police. The officer walks up to your window, leans in, points directly at your phone sitting right there on the passenger seat and simply says, "Unlock it."
Your pulse instantly jumps. Unlock it. I mean, it's a firm, direct command in what's already a super stressful situation. But let's pause our scenario for a second and ask the absolutely vital question, do you actually have to? Like, when an officer makes that demand on the side of a busy highway, does the law require you could just hand over access to your entire digital life right then and there? Well, the answer might actually surprise you, and understanding it kind of changes the whole dynamic of a traffic stop.
So to figure this out, we have to look at the legal landscape. Here in the United States, your phone isn't just seen as, a random piece of electronics. The law actually grants this specific device a special, highly elevated level of legal protection. And I really want you to think about that for a second. Why on earth would a phone be treated so differently from, say, a gym bag in your trunk or the glove box of your car? Well, it all comes down to the sheer volume and the incredibly sensitive nature of what that little piece of glass and metal actually holds.
I mean, think about it. Today, your phone contains your most intimate private messages. Years, literally years of personal photos, live access to your banking apps, and just this massive web of personal information. It's essentially your entire life digitized and carried around in your pocket. And because searching this device is such a massive intrusion into your personal life, the legal system has basically built a heavy shield of privacy right around it.
So the crucial point really comes down to one legal concept, the warrant. Because of those intense privacy expectations we just talked about surrounding your digital data, police generally need a warrant before searching the contents of your phone in most situations. Now, a warrant is a formal legal document, and without it, the general baseline rule in the US is that your phone stays locked and your personal data stays private, period. However, as we know, the law is rarely absolute. While the general rule absolutely requires a warrant, there are some very important legal exceptions that you need to be aware of. Most notably, if you give voluntary consent, meaning you literally just say yes to the officer's request, they might be fully allowed to search your device right then without a warrant. On top of that, in situations involving immediate emergencies or a few other strictly recognized legal exceptions, different rules can kick in that allow law enforcement to bypass the warrant process. And look, we're not here to take sides on how these laws are applied, right? We're just here to impartially lay out the legal realities so you know exactly where those boundaries lie.
Okay, so knowing that general rule and those exceptions brings us right back to the side of the road in our scenario. If that officer points at your phone and asks to search it, how should you handle it? Well, the absolute most important thing you can do is to just stay calm. You need to understand how to properly assert your legal rights in that exact moment so you don't accidentally fall into that voluntary consent exception we literally just talked about. And here's the good news. You do not need a law degree to protect your digital privacy. If you're asked to unlock your device, you can clearly and respectfully state this exact sentence. "I do not consent to a search of my phone." That's it. By stating this clearly, you're drawing a firm legal boundary and making it 100% known that you are not voluntarily giving permission. Let's actually break this behavior down into a really deliberate checklist. Step 1, stay calm. Just take a deep breath and keep your emotions in check. Step 2, clearly say, "I do not consent." Now, step 3 is absolutely critical. Don't argue. Actually, scratch that. It's more like, don't debate. The side of the road is not a courtroom, and you are not going to win a legal debate with an officer on active duty. And finally, step 4, don't resist. If an officer decides to take your phone anyway, just let them. Remain polite and let the legal process work later on where your assertion of rights can be properly addressed by a judge.
Ultimately, the big takeaway here is incredibly empowering, isn't it? Knowing your rights helps you make much better decisions during really stressful situations. When you actually understand the boundaries of the law, these unexpected encounters become, well, far less intimidating. And hey, if you appreciate this kind of straightforward breakdown of the legal system, I highly encourage you to follow Plain Law US. They're the source for our material in this explainer today for more simple, easy-to-understand US legal explainers. Just before we officially wrap up, a quick note on these details. This explainer is for educational purposes only. It's not legal advice. Laws and outcomes definitely vary by state and circumstance, so always consult a licensed attorney for specific legal advice. All right, with that in mind, I want to leave you with a final thought to chew on. How prepared are you truly for an unexpected encounter